Anxiety isn't a malfunction, it's a message. You've been taught to fear it, medicate it, hide it. But anxiety isn't random. It's your mind trying to speak to you in the only language it has left. When something in your life is off, when you've ignored what matters for too long, the body sends signals: racing heart, shallow breath, restless thoughts. Those aren't defects, they're alarms. You're not weak, you're responding to pressure, to loneliness, to a life lived out of rhythm. Anxiety becomes unbearable when you see it as something wrong with you, instead of something right, trying to get your attention. Ask what it's trying to say. What part of you have you been silencing? What truth have you been avoiding? When you listen, instead of resist, anxiety shifts. It stops feeling like chaos and starts guiding you home. Part 2. You're disconnected from meaning. Anxiety grows in the space where purpose disappears. When your days feel mechanical, wake up, work, scroll, repeat, you start to feel hollow. The body senses it before the mind admits it. That emptiness becomes tension, restlessness, unease. We were built to live for something beyond survival, to create, to belong, to matter. And when those instincts go unmet, the mind begins to ache. Most people call that ache anxiety, but it's really disconnection. Disconnection from meaning, from contribution, from direction. You don't need more comfort, you need more purpose, because meaning quiets anxiety the way sunlight calms a storm. Ask yourself, what used to make you feel alive? What moments made time disappear? Those are clues. The body remembers what the mind forgets. When you stop living by habit and start living by intention, the noise softens, because purpose gives pain a place to go. Part 3. You're trapped in comparison. Anxiety thrives when your worth depends on what you see around you. You scroll through lives that look complete, and somewhere inside, you start to shrink. You begin to measure yourself by what others have, instead of who you're becoming. Comparison isn't awareness, it's distortion. It convinces you you're behind when you're simply on your own timeline. Every time you compare, you trade peace for pressure. You forget that what you see online is a highlight reel, not a heartbeat. Your mind isn't meant to carry thousands of other lives at once. It's only built to handle one, yours. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to return to what's real. Touch something physical. Look someone in the eyes. Feel your own breath again. When you come back to your life, the anxiety begins to fade, because truth replaces illusion. Focus on your path, not the noise around it. Because the moment you stop competing, you start healing. Part 4. You've lost the tribe. You weren't built to do life alone. For most of human history, survival depended on connection, shared work, shared food, shared purpose. Now you can go days without a real conversation and still call it normal. Loneliness doesn't always look like isolation. Sometimes it's being surrounded by people who don't see you. Sometimes it's pretending everything's fine because you don't want to burden anyone. But the body knows. When you're disconnected, it panics. That panic is anxiety, the alarm that you've drifted too far from belonging. You need people who notice when you're quiet, people who don't need you to perform to be accepted, people who remind you that you're human, not a task list. Connection is medicine. Every time you're truly seen, the nervous system calms. Every moment of genuine closeness tells the brain, you're safe now. You can't outthink loneliness. You have to reach for someone. Even one real bond can quiet years of internal noise. Because the cure for much of your anxiety isn't isolation, it's us. Part 5. You've forgotten nature. Your mind wasn't designed to live between screens. You were meant to move, to feel sunlight, to hear the rhythm of wind and water. But somewhere along the way, you traded that world for walls, for notifications, for noise. The nervous system can't tell the difference between danger and disconnection. It only knows when something vital is missing. When you're cut off from nature, your body loses its anchor. The pace of the world becomes unnatural, and your mind starts to race to match it. That's where anxiety hides, in the gap between your natural rhythm and the one you're forced to live in. Go outside, touch the ground, watch something grow that doesn't need you to perform. Breathe air that hasn't been recycled through a vent. Nature recalibrates you. It slows you back to human speed. The pulse of the earth is the original antidepressant, the first form of therapy, the reminder that peace was never far away. It was just outside. You don't have to escape the world to find calm. You just have to step back into the one that built you. Part 6. You're living in the future. Anxiety feeds on the imagination. It takes what might happen and convinces you it's happening now. Your body reacts to a thought as if it were reality. Heart racing, stomach tightening, muscles ready to run from something that doesn't exist yet. That's what anxiety is. The mind rehearsing danger before it arrives. But here's the truth. Your fear is never about the moment you're in. It's about the moments your mind has already left for. When you pull yourself into the future, you abandon the only place peace ever lives, the present. You can't control what's coming, but you can control where your attention rests. Bring it back. Notice your breath. Notice what's real right now. The chair beneath you, the air moving in your lungs, the fact that you are safe in this exact second. The more you practice returning to now, the less power the future has to scare you. You don't have to predict what's next to prepare for it. You just have to stay present enough to meet it when it comes. Peace isn't found in control, it's found in presence. Part 7. You're fighting what you feel. Anxiety gets louder when you try to silence it. Most people spend their lives running from their emotions, pushing them down, distracting, pretending they don't exist. But emotions don't disappear just because you ignore them. They wait. They build. They speak through tension, exhaustion, and panic. You can't heal what you refuse to feel. Anxiety isn't the problem. It's the body's attempt to release what you've trapped inside. It's the nervous system trying to process something you keep resisting. When you feel anxious, your first instinct is to fight it. Calm down. Don't think about it. But that resistance only deepens the cycle. The more you resist the feeling, the stronger it becomes. The way out isn't control, it's surrender. Let the feeling exist without labeling it as bad. Watch it rise, breathe through it, and let it pass. Every emotion you face loses its power to define you, because emotions are waves. They only drown you when you fight the current. So stop trying to fix the feeling. Let it move through you. The goal isn't to never feel anxious. It's to no longer be afraid of it. Part 8. You've been taught to escape stillness. You've been trained to stay busy. Because stillness feels like failure. From the moment you wake up, the world demands motion. Produce, scroll, react, repeat. You've learned to equate rest with laziness and silence with emptiness. But the mind needs quiet, the way the body needs sleep. When you avoid stillness, your thoughts never settle. The noise builds, layer after layer, until your nervous system forgets what calm even feels like. That's anxiety, the result of never giving your mind room to breathe. You don't have to meditate perfectly or disappear into nature for weeks. Just pause. Let a minute exist without input. Let your phone stay dark. Let yourself feel what's underneath the motion. At first, the silence will feel uncomfortable. That's normal. It's not emptiness. It's detox. It's the sound of your mind clearing space for peace to return. You were never meant to live at full volume. Stillness is where clarity hides. It's where you remember who you are beneath the noise. So stop running from the quiet. Because stillness isn't the absence of life. It's where life starts speaking again. Part 9. You're afraid to be seen. Anxiety often hides behind the fear of being visible. You worry about saying the wrong thing, being judged, being misunderstood. You rehearse conversations in your head before they happen and replay them after they end. You shrink yourself to feel safe. But the more you hide, the heavier anxiety becomes. Because hiding demands constant effort, masking, filtering, pretending. It's exhausting to live behind an edited version of yourself. Most anxiety in social moments isn't about others at all. It's about you watching you. You step outside yourself and analyze every move. Am I being weird? Do they like me? That self-surveillance keeps you trapped in loops of self-consciousness. The cure isn't confidence, it's attention. Look outward. Notice others. Listen. Pay attention to what's in front of you instead of what's happening in your head. When you focus outward, your body relaxes. You stop performing and start connecting. Because the truth is, people aren't judging you nearly as much as you think. They're too busy managing their own fears. Being seen isn't the problem. Pretending isn't safety. Let people meet the real you. The one who's imperfect, human, present. Anxiety fades when authenticity takes its place. Part 10. You've stopped trusting yourself. Anxiety grows in the space where self-trust disappears. When you constantly second-guess your choices, replay every decision, and wait for someone else to validate what you already know, your mind never rests. It spins, searching for certainty that can only come from within. You weren't born anxious. You were taught to doubt your instincts, to outsource your sense of truth to other people's approval. And the longer you do, the more you disconnect from your own intuition. But anxiety can't survive in a person who trusts themselves, because trust gives your mind permission to stop scanning for danger. You can start rebuilding it in small ways. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Follow through, even on little things. Listen to your gut before you ask for advice. Every time you act in alignment with what you know is right, the mind relaxes, the noise softens, the panic fades. Self-trust is the anchor. Without it, you drift through life, waiting for someone else to tell you who you are. With it, you move with quiet certainty. No matter how loud the world gets, anxiety will always whisper. But when you trust yourself, you no longer mistake the whisper for truth. You just breathe, decide, and keep moving. Because peace isn't the absence of fear, it's the presence of trust.